The YouTube creator sphere has always been a fickle one. It's less an episode of Friends and more an episode of Game of Thrones, with each YouTuber and their group being put in a specific house. And usually, like every episode of Game of Thrones, the houses don't get on with the other houses and there always ends up being massive infighting. Welcome to season 34 of YouTuber Game of Thrones, and in today's episode, we have the creator Sniper Wolf trying to do a speed run of completely obliterating and burning every single bridge she has with other creators. So this all started off when Sniper Wolf did a call-out post basically saying other people stole her content, most notably MrBeast. I do want to say I find it really funny that she's using MrBeast as an example of someone that plagiarizes her content. MrBeast is probably one of the most vocal people that has always spoke out against people that basically copy his content. I'm sure you've heard the term the beastification, the breastification of YouTube, how everyone is doing these kind of like challenge videos, they're soy facing in the thumbnail, they've got a background with a blue sky and green grass like it's an episode from the Teletubbies. But my point is, he's always been incredibly vocal about people that copy him and they don't really add anything to the formula.
There are tons of people that just copy everything I'm doing on YouTube currently. I try not to say too much because I know hundreds of creators are just gonna be like, that's it, that's what I'm doing. I need 50 people, I'm gonna build it like this, and then I'm gonna do what MrBeast does, you know?
And how does Sniper Wolf own MrBeast? How does he prove that he's nothing but a dirty copycat? She posts two videos, one of hers, one of his, and it's her 2 years ago reacting to TikTok's random acts of kindness, and they both used the same girl in the thumbnail. Sniper Wolf uploaded her video 2 years ago, MrBeast uploaded his video 1 year ago. Now, I really don't need to tell you how stupid this accusation is in any capacity. You're basically arguing that you invented the ability to turn on your camera and react to TikToks. Another point as well is, at the minute, unfortunately, TikTok reactions are a huge meta. So many YouTubers use them as a crutch because it's easy content, it's lazy, and it gets insane amounts of views. But for you to claim that MrBeast stole that from you doesn't make any sense. The only real thing she could even attempt to argue is that they had a similar thumbnail, and that's probably not even up to MrBeast, Jimmy. It's more like his thumbnail artists. I sound like I'm excusing him right now, but like there is so much overlap. Like for example, me on Pyro Live, the Daily Sloth. Do you know how many times I've had a thumbnail that is exactly the same as Critical's or Ludwig's on his Mogul Mail or like any other kind of reaction commentary YouTuber? We don't mean to do it. It's just because there's usually only one topic of the day, and overlap is pretty much inevitable. It's not on purpose. But this is where things got serious, because another YouTuber attempting to defend MrBeast threw his hat in the ring, and that was Jacksfilms. He quoted her saying, "I invented reacting to other people's TikToks. Anyone else is copying me." And what did Sniper Wolf do? Totally debase and debunk all of these claims against her? No. Instead, she sat down and she pulled the woman card, implying that Jack is basically tilted that a woman is getting more views than him. An argument that Sniper Wolf probably had in her head, but no one else was actually ever making that claim. Ever. And then she went on to say that Jacksfilms made a react channel where he copied her content, thinking it would blow up, and apparently it never did. Also, this is the best part of the entire thread. Some complete random, wasn't another YouTuber, basically just probably a fan of Jacksfilms. They replied to her tweet, systematically breaking down every single one of her points to prove that she's wrong. You did not invent reaction content. It's always been around since YouTube was founded. Jacksfilms is currently on tour right now doing a game show based on his actual material. He's an original YouTuber who has no reason to rip off you. He did reaction content to show how easy and uncreative it is because thousands of other YouTubers do it and get views. Now, this actually tilted Sniper Wolf so much that she hidden that tweet. If you go onto the tweet, it is the only hidden reply, and regardless of that, it still ended up ratioing her anyway. Can we get some unluckies in chat, boys? Just a couple unluckies. Now, this may sound like God defending, but it's pretty plausible. Jacksfilms, I don't watch him too much, but he has been in the creator game for a very long time. And one thing he was most known for, apart from his Jackask and his, weekly uploads, were his parodies, where he'd parody ongoing things. For example, he did a parody of Drama Alert 7 years ago. He did a parody of Leafy Is Here commentary videos 7 years ago. Honestly, if I was more relevant at the time and I wasn't a bottom feeder, he probably would have done a video on me as well. Now, another funny example, which is going to lead to a huge gotcha moment, just stay with me. He uploaded a video a couple weeks ago, basically reacting to an AI that he made of himself, having a conversation with it and starting a podcast with it.
Jacksfilms, can you explain the concept of death to a child, but in lolcat speak?
Oh, sweet little kitty. Let me tell you about the big sleep. Meow.
And ironically, despite accusing so many people of yoinking from her, Sniper Wolf might have actually tried to yoink this idea as well. She put out a tweet saying that she was going to record a conversation with her AI self and what she should ask her. Now that tweet has also been deleted. I wonder why. By the way, just for reference, Jacksfilms' AI video was uploaded on the 8th of June and Sniper Wolf's tweet was posted on the 25th of June. Now this is the point where the drama usually fizzles out. It doesn't really go anywhere, just a bit of Twitter beef. There'll be some quote tweets, some snides, and then both parties will retreat back to their Discord group group chats and talk immense amount of shit about the other in complete privacy. That should have happened, but it didn't, because Jacksfilms completely broke that trend by uploading a video on Sniper Wolf titled Sniper Wolf, but every 10 seconds I read a tweet she sent me tonight. So the entire video is Jack having to watch 10 seconds of the YouTube Kids app, which is just completely insufferable. You can even see him counting to 10 like it's some kind of Chinese water torture. And then after 10 seconds, he'll read a tweet that Sniper Wolf has said about him. One tweet even bizarrely says, "No one ever attacks male react channels." Milady, I'm calling the fattest cap imaginable, because the first half of my YouTube career, where I was a little Leafy clone playing Prototype 2 and like some of the gameplay, half the videos I made were on reaction channels that were run by men because they didn't do anything creative. You know what? At this point, Stomedy, he gets a pass. Ironically, he's aged very well. He's aged like a fine wine. But for example, channels like Reaction Time. Do you remember Reaction Time? Probably not. He was that NPC with a quiff haircut that I used to have in like 2015. This guy would get tens of millions of views back like 4 to 5 years ago, and now pulls in like a fraction of that. Obviously, there are other people to mention as well, like Derv, Morgs, but I wanted more talk about the really mundane reaction channels that would just sit there and be like, wow, oh my god, well that just happened. Well, I love Marvel films. Now, obviously, she's hiding behind the facade that, like, it's only women that get hate, and I'm not saying that isn't the case, but with reaction channels, definitely not. Like, there is equality on the gender spectrum there. But it gets worse, because one of the tweets that she made directly at Jack is just, it's terrible.
Satire is supposed to be funny. It's a way to undermine what I do. Bro just wanted an excuse to copy me, thinking it would be easy money for him. He gave up. Because the videos ending up getting around 30K views. Guess it's harder than it looks. Huh.
The fact that she implies her videos have any kind of skill apart from just playing the TikTok of the day or the TikTok of the week and just pulling an occasional soy face to do a reaction. Now, one thing I do want to say is, like, no one can argue this, even me. Like, I'm definitely in Jacksfilms' corner, but regardless of that, Sniper Wolf, she gets very good views. She uploads daily, and each video consistently will get over 1 million views. There's no way you can cope about that. That's really good. That is a very successful business model. And then you probably wonder, where are these views coming from? If you click onto any one of her videos, filter the comments by new, and you can tell it's just fetuses that escaped the womb 2 weeks early. Now, again, I'm not really going to shit on her for that, because without, like, little kids on YouTube, the platform would be dead. It is probably, like, 90% of the viewer base. People love to cope and say, like, my fan base, it's full of big, burly, masculine men. It's not. Unfortunately, if you're successful on YouTube, it's probably not the case. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that situation because I've been seeing it all over my timeline. And honestly, I haven't watched Jacksfilms in a fat minute. And I think I might start doing that now because even though he's been going on to YouTube like over 10 plus years, he still brings a lot to the platform. And this drama was just... It's just like you argue that making TikToks is a high quality form of entertainment. It's not. It's slop.